Part 6. Deepening Obsessions. In the years following Augusta's death, the farmhouse became a world entirely of Ed's own making. Each room, each corner, each shelf was both preserved and transformed, a reflection of his mind, his obsessions, his rituals. The house smelled of old wood, dust, and a faint metallic tang, a reminder of his growing fascination with death. Ed moved carefully, deliberately, through the spaces his mother had once occupied, always obeying the rules she had imposed, yet quietly exploring the boundaries of life, death, and preservation. Every creak of the floorboards, every whisper of wind through the cracks seemed magnified in the emptiness. It was as if the house itself was alive, or watching, or remembering. Animals became his constant companions, not alive, but in their preserved forms, meticulously arranged throughout the farmhouse. Skulls, bones, hides, each item cleaned, catalogued, stored, a study of structure, a fascination with permanence. These small experiments were quiet, hidden, almost ritualistic, and each act reinforced the control he could exert over the world around him. His routine became meticulous. Mornings began with chores, tending the fields, feeding animals, repairing fences. Afternoons were spent in study, examining bones, cleaning hides, cataloging scraps and objects collected from the property. Evenings were quiet, reflective, a time to walk through the rooms, imagine his mother's voice, and replay lessons she had once given him. Everything was deliberate, controlled, repeated, a rhythm that shaped both day and mind. The isolation of the farm deepened. Ed rarely ventured beyond the property. When he did, he was polite, silent, unobtrusive, always observing. He watched the townspeople, studied their movements, their conversations, the way they interacted, and he measured himself against them, noting the differences, noting what he could never fully understand. The outside world remained distant, strange, confusing, a place to be watched from afar, never fully entered. Inside the house, the boundary between past and present blurred. He imagined his mother in her rooms, walking, guiding, correcting. Her voice internalized, permanent, echoing in his mind. Her teachings dictated his movements, his choices, his morality. And in that moral framework, strange thoughts began to take hold. Thoughts of control, of preservation, of creating permanence, a desire to capture, to maintain, to hold on to what was fleeting. Death itself became something to study, to arrange, to contain. Ed's experiments grew more intricate over time. He tested techniques for cleaning bones, preserving hides, and arranging specimens. He explored the materials in the house, learning how wood, metal, and fabric could be used to support his work. Each discovery was carefully noted in his mind, catalogued, stored. The farmhouse itself became a laboratory, a shrine, a reflection of the obsessive order in his mind. Neighbors sometimes noticed his unusual habits. They saw him wandering the fields, quietly observing small animals or the landscape. They noticed the careful way he moved, the intent in his eyes, the silence he carried. Few questioned it. Most assumed he was merely eccentric, a quiet farm boy who kept to himself. No one understood the depth of his inner world, the obsessions that were quietly consuming him. The house mirrored the dichotomy of Ed's mind. Some rooms were preserved meticulously, untouched, sacred. Other areas fell into quiet decay, dust, clutter, remnants of daily life left to fade. Everything in the house reflected control, yet also hinted at obsession, disorder, fascination with permanence. Even the smallest objects became significant. A broken chair could be repaired, a discarded animal bone could be cleaned and stored. A scrap of cloth could be repurposed into something meaningful, something precise, something controlled. Every detail mattered. Every object, every corner, every shadow was observed, catalogued, measured. And so, life on the farm continued, in a rhythm dictated by memory, devotion and curiosity. The past, Augusta's voice, her rules, her presence, was ever present. The present, Ed's experiments, observations, solitude, dominated his days. And the future, though unknown, was slowly being shaped by these years of isolation, obsession, and meticulous attention. In the silence of the farmhouse, with the wind whistling through the cracks in the walls, Ed Gein was no longer just a boy shaped by fear and devotion. He was becoming something far more complex. A man whose obsessions would eventually shock a nation. A man whose private universe had begun to grow dark, intricate, and terrifying.